Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. As Nigeria is battling for how to solve the problem of insecurity in the country, there are also some folks somewhere who are looking at what they will benefit from 2023 presidential election, which we are not even close to it, you understand? And this is coming from the Morik, Professor Akintola, and before now he had already asked some questions, asked those who are agitating for self-determination for Yoruba race, talking about Sunday Igboho. He asked a lot of questions in respect to those he represents. He's actually the director of Muslims in that's Muslim right concern. He's more concerned about the rights of the Muslim. And right now, he's asking another question. Don't forget, when he asked Sunday Igboho, what will be their benefit after the self-determination? And he said, hey, you guys will be integrated into the system and we'll keep working like one people. Religion is not a problem, you understand? But right now, he's also trying to present an opinion, which for me, he's very serious about it. And he's talking about the Yorubas being given an opportunity to lead Nigeria, but this time around he is defining it based on religion. He said he needs a Muslim Yoruba to rule Nigeria. After all, in 1999, Yoruba Christian was given the opportunity, so why not give us also the opportunity? And that's what we're going to look at, what he has to say, and then we'll analyze it based on the train of issues we're having in this country, and if it's even important for us to talk about religion at this point. But before we do all of that, if you're not subscribed to our channel, just hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. Now, according to the news, the Morik Muslim Right Concern has said that the next Yoruba presidential candidate should be a Muslim in the interest of fairness, justice, and equity. Morik made the call amid rumors that former President Olusegun Obasanjo was trying to draft the current president of the African Development Bank, ADB, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, into the 2023 presidential race. The Muslim Human Rights Organization based its stand on the fact that while 3 Yoruba Christians have occupied Aso Rock Villa, no single Yoruba Muslim has held the post of president or vice president since independence. Morik stated these in a statement signed by its director, Prof.Ishaq Akintola, director, and forwarded it on Tuesday. According to Morik, ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo is reportedly making attempts to draft the current president of the African Development Bank, ADB, Mr. Akinwumi Adesina, into the 2023 presidential race. He objects to this move. He said, we object to this move. Obasanjo wants to waste all the effort put in place by the Nigerian government to get Dr. Akinwumi Adesina to that continental position. We remind the former president that as a Yoruba Christian, he had led Nigeria twice. He spent 3 years and 258 days as a military head of state from 1976 to 1979, and another 8 years as a civilian president from 1999 to 2007. 2 other Yoruba Christians have also occupied Aso Rock. Chief Ernest Adegunle Oladinde Shinekong was the interim head of state from 26 of August 1993 to 17 November 1993. The current vice president, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, is also a Yoruba Christian. Obasanjo attempted to draft Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, who is also a Yoruba Christian, into the presidential race negates the principle of fairness, justice, and equity. It is an attempt to rob Yoruba Muslim of the presidential slot, and it violates a cardinal principle of democracy, namely inclusiveness. It is an open secret that Yoruba Muslims, who form the majority of the population in the Southwest, have been denied their Allah-given fundamental human right. This has led to complaints and court cases initiated by Muslims across Yoruba land over political and religious persecution. Yoruba Muslims are at the receiving end of the deprivation of civil liberty. It is our contention that another Yoruba Christian presidency will usher in another opportunity for Christian hegemony and the marginalization, stigmatization, repression, and persecution of Yoruba Muslims. Let Obasanjo tell us how many Yoruba Muslims were ministers in his administration. Even in Kwara State, which is also a predominantly Muslim territory, Obasanjo picked 2 Christians as ministers, C.O. Adebayo and Funke Doyin, but he could not extend any luxury to Yoruba Muslim in the southwest. Morik rejects these grand designs to keep Muslims in Yoruba land in perpetual bondage. There are many Yoruba Muslims who are eminently qualified for the position of president. We also believe that the interests of the Yoruba people will be best served if they will channel their grievances towards ensuring that a Yoruba man emerge president instead of pursuing a separatist agenda that may lead them nowhere. We advise ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo to relax his grip on the Nigerian Jugugal vein. We should stop pushing Yoruba Muslim to the background. Christians are not the only human being in Yoruba land. Fair hearing or fair sharing spread goodwill. Monopoly generate rancor and ill feelings. There is no true democracy where there is no inclusiveness. The political party does not matter to us. What is important is that the next Yoruba president again must go to a Yoruba Muslim in the name of fairness, justice, and equity. That's what he had to say, But I looking at the current trend of events in Nigeria, this is little or no issue. Little or as much as he may escalate it so much, but this is not even a focal point for Nigerians. What we need is someone who have a track record of good administration, someone who had led before. For example, that man they're talking about, it's a good one, But right now, that's not what we are looking at. We're looking at people who can lead Nigeria. We are already in a dungeon. We are sitting on the kick of gunpowder. So if God will preserve us and help Nigeria to still be together till 2023, the ideal thing is to find someone who has a track record of good leadership, to find someone who is empathic enough about the current situation of the country, someone who have the capacity, who have, track record of capacity, has ability in performing as a superb leader, someone who will quietly lift us up from the gunpowder and deliver the country from the grip of unemployment, insecurity, lack of basic amenities, and other, electoral fraud, give it a name, corruption. There are so many. We need such an able hand. We don't want to hear stories of, oh, this man is good enough. Because on ethnic grounds, on religious ground, on age ground, on color ground, and that is absolutely not what Nigerians need right now. We've suffered enough. And all of these things which had been used over time, to determine who is on board has failed us thus far. You understand? It has failed us. So if we want to look at it from the perspective of good leadership, all of those things are very material. They're not important right now. The Southeast also are looking out for the same position. So if we have to look at the South and say someone from the South must lead, the person must have capacity. We can't, for any reason, bring in a corrupt leader again. Bring in someone who on the party or on the grounds of party will be given that position. Someone who another person will say, well, I am an elder statesman. I have contributed tremendously to the development of the country. So you guys can manage. We are not managing anybody. They must be on ground fact, and it must give us time for, when he will deliver on all his promises. You understand? It will no more be a moment of storytelling. Even this is not going to only happen, in respect to presidential, but in the senatorial strife and other stuff. Hey, we've got to stand our ground to ensure the right people are there, so that if the president in future decides to allow his greed or the greed of his sponsors to rule him, the House of Senate or the House of Representatives will have power people who are so much in love with the people that they would not want to play with their names, that they will just kick out anybody who doesn't perform. That's what we're looking at. So for me, that one has already fell from inception. Nobody will want to think about that right now. We are one, and if we must remain one, we must look for someone who will keep us as one. I'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section.